be silly, Vernon. She hates boys. The Dursley often spoke about Harry like this, as though he wasn't there, or rather, as though he was something very nasty that couldn't understand them, like a slug. What's her name? Your friend Yvonne? On holiday in Matroska, snapped Aunt Petunia. You could just leave me here, Harry, but hopefully that he'll be able to watch what he wanted on the television for a change, and maybe ever go on Dursley's computer. Aunt Petunia looked as though I swallowed a lemon. Come back and find the house in ruins, she snarled. I won't blow up the house, she said, but they weren't listening. I suppose we can say take him to the zoo and leave him in the car. The car is new. He's not sitting in there alone. Dudley began to cry loudly. In fact, he was really crying. It had been years since he really cried that he knew that if he screwed up his face in Wales, his mother would give him anything he wanted. Didn't he, Dudley Kim? Don't cry. Mommy wouldn't let him ruin your special day, she cried, flinging her arms around him. I don't want him to come, Dudley yelled between his huge pretend sobbed like he always spoils everything. He shot Harry a nasty gleam through the gap of his mother's arms. Then the doorbell rang. Oh, good Lord, they're here, said Aunt Petunia frantically. And a moment later, Dudley's best friend, hiked up hard place, walked on with his mother. Porter was a scrawny boy with a face like a rat. He was usually the one who held people's arms behind them backs while Dudley hit them. Dudley stopped pretending to cry at once. And half an hour later, Harry, who couldn't believe his luck, was sitting in the back of Dudley's car with the Pirates and Dudley, on the way to the zoo for the first time in his life. His aunt and uncle hadn't been able to think of anything else to do with him. Before they left, Uncle Vernon had taken Harry outside. I'm warning you, he said, putting a large purple face right up close to Harry. I'm warning you now, boy. Any funny business, any at all, or you'll be in the cupboard from now until Christmas. I'm not going to do anything, said Harry honestly. But Uncle Vernon didn't believe him. No one ever did. The problem was strange things often happened around Harry, and it was no good telling the Dudleys he didn't make them happen. Once Uncle Petunia tried Harry coming back from the barber's, looking as though he hadn't been at all, and had taken a pair of kitchen scissors to cut his hair so short it was almost bald except for the fringe, which had left to hide a horrible scar. Dudley had laughed at himself as silly as Harry had spent a dead sleepless night, imagining the school next day where he had already laughed for his baggage clothes and sellotape glasses. But next morning, however, he got up to find that his hair had exactly had it been before Aunt Petunia had sheared it off. He had given a week in his cupboard for this, even though he tried to explain he couldn't explain how it had grown back so quickly. Another time, Aunt Petunia had been trying to force him into a revolting old jumper of Dudley's old brown orange bubbles. The harder she tried to pull it over his head, the smarter it tried to become, and finally it might have fitted a glove puppet, but suddenly wouldn't have fit Harry. Aunt Petunia had decided it might have shrunk in the wash, and to his great relief, Harry wasn't punished. On the other hand, he got into trouble for being found on the roof of the school kitchen. The Dudley gang had been chafing as usual, as much to Harry's surprise as anyone else. He was staying on the chimney. The Dudleys had received a very angry letter from Harry's headmistress that Harry had been climbing the school buildings. That all he tried to do as he shouted Uncle Vernon through the locked door of the cupboard was jump behind the big bin outside the kitchen doors. Harry supposed the wind might have cut him in mid-jump. But today, nothing was going to go wrong. It was even worse being Dudley and the Pirates to be standing somewhere that wasn't school or cupboard or Mrs. French smelly cabbage smelling living room. While he drove, Uncle Vernon complained to Aunt Petunia. He liked to complain about things. He at work, the council, Harry the bank, and Harry were just a few things about favorite subject. This morning it was about motorbikes. Whirring around like Vince's, the young hoodlums, he said as a motorbike overtook him. I had a dream of a motorbike, suddenly. It was flying. Uncle Vernon nearly crashed into the car at the front. He turned around and turned around in his seat and yelled at Harry. His face was like a giant beetroot with a mustache. Motorbikes don't fly! Dudley and Peter snickered. I know they don't. It was only a dream. But he wished he hadn't said anything. If there was one thing Dr. Dudley hated even more than asking questions, it was talking about anything acting in a way he shouldn't. No matter if it was a dream or even a cartoon, they seemed to think that he might get dangerous ideas.